Welcome to FPL Cheat Sheet Briefing, the podcast that gives you a data-driven edge in the Fantasy Premier League.
And hello again, managers. Right, today's mission, it's a crucial one. We're diving deep into the data, the algorithmic analytics for GameWeek 7. We're going to lay out the optimal wildcard, the best free hit, and the top differentials wildcard teams, all based purely on our expected points model. But yeah, before we get to the, let's say, redemption arc, we got to do that quick, blunt look back at GameWeek 6. Can't really skip the pain, unfortunately.
Oh, mandatory pain, yes. We have to stare it right in the face. WTF, worst game week ever for our algorithmic teams. Seriously, it was just an absolute disaster, wasn't it? Especially that non-Haaland strategy against Burnley. Looked okay for, 85 minutes? And then, bang, stoppage time, 2 goals, coffin sealed. I mean, luckily for anyone who did triple captain Haaland, classic Haaland haul. That's why he costs what he costs, I guess. So congrats to them, genuinely. But yeah, let's look at our non-Haaland numbers. The disaster data.
Yeah, it was pretty shocking compared to what the data predicted. If you look at the wildcard team from GameWeek 6, that's page 5 in the data pack we put out, the total expected points for all 15 players was 71.86, and the actual score, a painful 34 points. That's a huge miss.
Oof. Yeah, that's not just bad luck, is it? That screams, randomness, poor finishing maybe?
Yeah.
And the free hit team, that wasn't much better.
Worse, actually. The free hit team predicted 75.8 expected points, managed just 29 actual points, 29.
Wow.
And our differentials team, the high upside one.
Yeah, max risk, max reward, supposedly.
Well, it was modeled for 76.05 expected points, and it scraped together 34 actual points. So, yeah, the conclusion. Game Week 6 was just a comprehensive flop. All around. Actual points, way, way short of the expected points.
Right. So before we just, burn the tape and move on, did the data learn anything from that, 40-point swing? Was it overweighting something or just pure variance?
Look, it seems like it was primarily variance. When we ran the updates, the models didn't flag a huge systemic error. It looked more like, really poor conversion rates in key games, players getting into great spots, high expected points positions, but just missing. Happens sometimes. So we kind of chalk it up, tweak the weightings a little, maybe prioritize current form slightly more, and pivot straight to Game Week 7. Full trust in the new numbers.
Okay, redemption time then. The data doesn't stay wrong for long, usually. Let's kick off the Game Week 7 deep dive. Wildcard team first. And I'm seeing a really massive structural shift here compared to last week's attempt.
That's right. This wildcard team, it's built pretty tight. Value of 99.90 millions. The starting 11 looking at 58.24 expected points. That jumps to 70.53 expected points if you, decided to bench boost it.
And the big headline here, Haaland. He's back in. Seems like a reaction, maybe. But the flip side, Salah is out this time. That's got to be the key decision, freeing up the budget.
It absolutely is. That's the turning point, really. The model looks at Liverpool's fixture, Salah's immediate expected points, and it basically decides that, the 12.5 million-ish for Salah, better spent across maybe 2 other spots, defense, attack, maximize the overall points floor. We kind of need Haaland's consistency back in, but fitting both in, it really compromises the bench or the defense too much.
Okay, so how does that ripple through the rest of the squad? The budget moves.
Well, it leads straight to that cheap goalkeeper strategy we sometimes see. We're highlighting 2 really low-cost options here. Dúbravka from Burnley, rock bottom, 4 millions, and Roefs from Sunderland at 4.5 millions. Roefs is currently stepping in because their usual starter is injured. So these cheap keepers, whether they start or they're just high-potential bench guys, they free up that essential cash for players like Haaland and let us still invest pretty heavily in the remaining premium midfield slots.
Smart. Spreading the budget. Yeah. All right, the crucial bit. Who gets the armband? The captaincy.
For this wildcard team, the top captain pick, gold medal, is Saka. Rationale seems really strong. Arsenal are playing West Ham at home. And West Ham, well, they've been looking pretty shaky defensively, especially away. Our metrics show that quite clearly.
Okay, Saka. Makes sense.
Vice
captain, silver medal, is Mbeumo. He benefits massively from that Man United home fixture against Sunderland.
Right. Okay, wildcard sorted. Let's switch gears. Free hit team. This is usually where the algorithm gets a bit creative, let's say. No long-term worries.
Exactly. And this free hit team, it uses the full 100.0 million budget, and it actually generates the highest starting 11 expected points of all 3 teams this week, 63.44.
Okay, but hang on. This is where I saw the data and thought, is this right? We're telling managers to use a valuable chip, and the algorithm is suggesting a team without Salah and without Haaland. That just sounds mad on paper. What's the justification? What metric makes that make sense? It is radical, we agree. But the data is really, really insistent on this one. It's actually the first time ever we've seen the algorithm drop both of them, both those premium giants, from the optimal free hit squad. Basically, the model sees the combined expected points gain you can get by snacking players from 3 specific teams with incredibly good fixtures this week. And the idea is those stacks collectively are projected to outscore the points you'd get from just having one or both of the big guys.
Okay. Lay out the stacks then. And tell me why Man United is suddenly trustworthy again after their start.
Right, so we're seeing a triple Arsenal stack. Calafiori in defense, he's a budget option the model thinks will start and has a good clean sheet chance. Then Saka in midfield and Gyökeres up top. But yeah, the really surprising bit is the confidence in a triple Man United midfield. Fernandes, Mbeumo, and Kuna. Yes, United had a rough start, no question, but the model sees their underlying numbers specifically for this fixture, home to Sunderland. They're spiking. The expected points projection for that triple up, it just outweighs the perceived risk, according to the algorithm.
Wow. Okay, so this is pure, hyper-aggressive fixture targeting. Betting big on collective potential in 2 home games rather than the safer floors of Salah and Haaland.
That's exactly it. Oh, and yeah, Watkins is in there too from Villa. The model thinks he's finally about to, open his goal-scoring account properly.
All right. So who captains this high-wire act of a free hit team?
Well, given the heavy lean on that Arsenal fixture, the primary captain pick is Saka again. The algorithm is just hammering that fixture for potentially huge returns.
Makes sense.
Vice captain is going to be Fernandes, capitalizing on that high Man United expected points projection we just talked about.
Okay, let's pivot one last time. Differentials Wildcard Team. This is for players with max 15% ownership?
Yeah. Or
we hunt for those league-winning hidden gems?
Correct. Strict criteria, minimum TSB 0, maximum 15%. This team's built with a value of 99.30 is. And the starting 11 expected points, 59.98. So still pretty high, offering that premium upside, but, without the huge ownership.
Are we still running the cheap keeper strategy here, too, to afford the outfielders?
We are, yeah, but with a slight upgrade. We've got Pope from Newcastle. In goal, he's 5 millions, owned by just 7.5%. Alongside Roefs, again from Sunderland, at 4.5 millions. So Pope gives you that solid, low-owned, sort of premium keeper option.
Good stuff. Now, the midfield differentials. This is the exciting part. Give us the low-owned stars that make this team tick.
Okay, first up, Saka. Yes, Saka again. Now, obviously he's premium, but he qualifies for the differentials team because his ownership, maybe surprisingly, is only around 6% right now. He's expected to get more minutes after recovering from that knock, so that ownership level makes him a fantastic differential pick for someone with his expected points potential. Then we've got Eze, 7.5 millions, about 12.8% ownership. Solid pick.
Yeah, but the real find here, the one the algorithm seems really excited about, based on form too, is Sarr from Crystal Palace, right?
Sarr is a superb spot. Yeah, he's only 6.4 millirones, and his ownership is just under 4%. Tiny. And Crystal Palace, they've had an amazing start, haven't they? Second in the league currently after Liverpool. Sarr is really stepping up, looking like their main creative guy, kind of the new high-volume attacker since Eze moved to Arsenal in the summer. That tiny ownership, combined with his really decent expected points projection, yeah, he looks like a phenomenal, potentially league-winning type asset.
That's the kind of deep insight we're looking for. Fantastic. So who leads this differential charge? Captaincy.
High expected points still rules here. Our primary captain pick is Saka.
Yeah.
And the high upside vice captain choice. And Mbeumo again. Just reinforcing that massive confidence in those specific home fixtures this game week.
Excellent stuff. Great breakdown of the 3 teams. Now let's tackle a question that came straight from you listeners, challenging that status quo a bit. The question is, I don't have Haaland, who should I captain? I have Salah. Is it a set choice, or is there anyone with better expected points this game week?
Yeah, this is exactly what our data-driven approach is built for. Look, while Haaland definitely has a good fixture, Brentford away, and Salah is, almost always a solid shout, the FPL cheat sheet data actually confirms Haaland and Salah are not the players with the highest expected points in Game Week 7. That's a pretty big statement.
Okay, let's unpack that then. If it's not the 2 usual suspects, who is the algorithm predicting the most from? Give us the top 4. Highest expected points contenders for Game Week 7, straight from the player table data.
All right, starting at the top. Highest expected point scorer for Game Week 7 is number 1, Saka, leading the way with 7.31 expected points. Arsenal home to West Ham. Number 2, Fernandes, really close behind, 6.86 expected points. Man United home versus Sunderland. That's the data really backing up that aggressive free hit stack you see. Number 3, Mbeumo. Also benefiting from that United home game against Sunderland, coming in with 6.47 expected points. And number 4, Gyökeres. with 5.83 expected points, benefiting from that same strong Arsenal home fixture against West Ham.
Right, so all our top captaincy picks for the optimal teams are actually in that top 3 based purely on the expected points metric.
Yeah.
That consistency really underlines the model's confidence, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Now, to answer the second part of the listener's question, Haaland, he's at 5.72 expected points this week. Salah is at 5.67 expected points. So, look, they're obviously solid choices if you own them already, and maybe you want to play it a bit safer. They give you that high floor. But if you're looking for a potentially stronger differential captaincy pick, someone with a surprisingly high ceiling this week, Sarr actually, scoring 5.69 expected points. That's looking incredibly strong for his price, and especially that tiny ownership. That small edge could be massive in your mini leagues.
See, this is the data-driven edge we talk about. The numbers are genuinely pointing away from the default premium captains this week and right towards those Arsenal and Manchester United attackers.
It certainly seems that way, yeah. And that aggressive approach, it's reflected right across all 3 of our optimal teams for the week. The risk feels high, maybe, but the potential reward for really maximizing those specific fixtures, it's even higher, according to the expected points model.
Excellent deep dive. Really appreciate breaking down that GameWeek 7 data. Before we wrap up, critical reminder for everyone listening.
Yes, absolutely crucial this week. The FPL deadline, it's on Friday evening, not the usual Saturday morning scramble. Friday evening. Pay attention. Don't get caught out. Get those teams locked in early.
Get those chips sorted. Get those transfers done. Right. We wish you all a good, hopefully high-scoring GameWeek 7. May the expected points finally turn into actual points this time around.
Fingers crossed. And yeah, if you want the full breakdown, access to the tools that generate these teams, all the underlying data, make sure you follow FPL Cheat Sheet on X. And subscribe to our channel on YouTube and Spotify. All the specific links you need, they're right there in the show notes.
Good luck, everyone. And try not to hide behind the sofa next Sunday. We'll catch you next week for the GameWeek 7 Look Back.